Support for Michigan Public comes from the University of Michigan's Look to Michigan campaign, working towards a stronger, more connected Michigan, championing sustainability, global citizenship, and educational opportunity. More information at looktomichigan.umich.edu.
This is On Hand, a podcast answering your questions about the things that make Michigan unique. I'm Mike Blank. In the most recent On Hand episode, I explored the history and legend of arguably the most terrifying cryptid in Michigan, the Dogman. We had some very interesting replies, including those of the supernatural variety.
I am Linda Alice Dewey. I am fortunate enough to live in Leelanau County in northern Michigan. I had an interesting ghost experience that expanded into something a little different.
Author Linda Alice Dewey lives near Glen Arbor Cemetery, adjacent to the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. During the 1990s, Dewey made multiple visits to the cemetery, and during her visits, she began to notice strong emotions of sadness and isolation.
We were visiting up here, and my brother was here, and he had found this cool cemetery in the middle of the woods, and so we went there. And I had a friend visiting, and she was much more able to pick up energies and things like that. I had never had a ghost experience. And so we went in there, and she sensed something there immediately. So I walked to where she was, and I did feel something, but it felt like it made me feel sad. It was heavy. I felt heavy. When I would walk away, I felt fine. When I would walk back there, I would feel sad and depressed, and I thought, holy smokes, this is what this guy is feeling, and I'm picking it up. These are not my feelings.
Dewey continued to visit the Glen Arbor Cemetery over the next 4 years, until one night, she felt an overwhelming urge for connection.
So I called out to it, which I don't recommend, and that's when things started to happen back at my house.
And later that night, things got weird.
Yes, that night I actually, and this is so corny, but there's a reason that these legends and stories exist is because they do happen, you know. So I felt a thump on the end of the bed. I was alone in my room. I was in a twin bed, and I felt this thump on the end of the bed. And because I'd been laying there thinking, oh, I wonder if I should have done that. I wonder if I should have called out to him. So then there's this thump, and I turned on the light, and I actually crawled down to the end of the bed till I could see what that could be. And of course, there was nothing there. So I lay back down, and I turned off the light. I thought, okay, what am I going to do if it happens again? And it happened again. So I turned on the light, which I didn't turn off for the rest of the night.
The strange occurrences kept happening. It was a lot for Dewey to process.
Well, first of all, my first reaction was, oh my gosh, it's all true. It's true. I mean, you really wonder, is it my imagination? Am I making this up? I mean, you wonder all those things. And it's healthy to wonder because you don't want to get sucked into, crazy stuff. And I sat up in bed, and I swung my legs around the side of the bed, and I sat straight up, and I said, you're here. And then I thought, okay, what was my plan? What was my plan? And I did know somebody who did, quote, ghost work.
Dewey's friend was able to help the spirit cross over. But after some time, something even stranger happened.
I woke up one morning hearing an Irish voice, and I went and I started typing and listening, and it's his whole story. It's his whole story because I've been wondering, what was it like to be here? What was it like to be a ghost? I wondered why he was a ghost. Why would a person be a ghost? All those questions. And he told his whole life story. And that was my book. I'm at the beginning where we go into the woods, and find him. And I'm at the end where I encounter him and he crosses over, but it's his whole story. It's amazing. And listening to that story, I am telling you, there were things that would happen and my eyes would well up as I'm typing away. And there were other things that would happen. I'd laugh, because it was surprising me.
Linda Alice Dewey says that experience inspired her to write her book, Erin's Crossing, an inspiring true ghost story. However, she does have one piece of advice if you're in a cemetery and you get the urge to call out to a spirit.
I really do not recommend that.
Many thanks to all the listeners who reached out about the Dogman, cryptids, and other supernatural encounters here in Michigan. If you have a Michigan-centric question for On Hand to explore, there's a story submission link in our show notes. Of course, you can always send an email, or, believe it or not, give us a ring. Your phone does have a phone function. Until the next time, my fellow Mishies, thanks for listening. I'm Mike Blank.